given your lordship the 3 number 30 and
It is in
31.
detail. The complainant has appeared before the governor. The governor has heard him.
Not as my lord, the
R3.
R3. Yes. And then, my lord, on this question of natural justice, I just want to point out, your lordships, how natural justice, my lord, is not some straitjacket formula. Kindly see, my lord, serial number 26. Ashok Kumar Sonkar's case.
All of them follow unruly horse.
Yes, unruly.
1977,
unruly horse.
Ramji.
Yes.
Yes.
And it should not be a futile exercise. Now, my lord, let us, the complaint that I have filed and the complaint filed by Abraham are identically worded. Now, if you're given notice in one, what does it matter? And you have taken a decision in respect of one complaint which is identically worded, so far as I am concerned. What does it matter if my complaint is also referred to in the approval order? How does it affect the petitioner? Therefore, my lord, natural justice should always be coupled with prejudice. There is nothing like natural justice standing alone as a point without showing prejudice. And if prejudice is not shown, then, my lord, the plea that there is a technical breach of the principles of natural justice, even if one is to apply that, and I would maintain, my lord, that at the stage of 17A, there is no requirement. Contrast the language to 19. 19 requires that.
19
requires that. 17A is the same statute the lawmakers provide for hearing. In another provision, they don't. What is the necessary influence? That insofar as 17A is concerned, it is excluded. So, my lord, without prejudice to that submission that there is no requirement and all this notice that was sent by the governor was only by way of, I would say, abundant caution. It is only, my lord, to satisfy, maybe, my lord, some that unruly horse. Even if it's. So, my lord, if that is so, my lord, the fact that the complaint filed by respondent number 4 was not supplied to the petitioner does not in any manner vitiate the order. And then, my lord, the meaning of the word, my lord, previous approval, we have set out 32 to 34, my lord. May not be so relevant, but for the because the words used is that. Anything else? My lord, I think, my lord, with this, I have shown to your lordships all the facts and the law which I thought was relevant. I'm grateful to your lordships.
Thank you, sir. Wait, sir.
My lord, there's one small.
State shake
One small addition I want to make. My lord, there is an interesting book on Kerron frauds. I want to show to your lordships one passage in that.
Fraud and mistake.
No, I'm on fraud.
Book.
Ye book is it. Book is it. It is a both, my lord. It's a well
yes.
Kindly see the first page, my lord.
First page?
Yes. Page 1. It says chapter 1 under the heading fraud. My lord, I have a slightly older edition. Maybe I don't know which edition your lordships have, but if your lordships. Fraud and mistake. Is that how it begins?
1 minute, sir.
Fraud and mistake as grounds of relief are alike founded on ignorance. Is that how it begins, my lord?
Yes.
Yes. There can be no mistake where there is no ignorance. There can be no fraud where there is no mistake. It is not easy. This is the passage I want to rely upon, my lord. It is not easy to give a definition of what constitutes fraud in the extensive signification in which that term is understood by civil courts of justice. Courts have always avoided hampering themselves by defining or laying down as a general proposition what shall be held to constitute fraud. Fraud is infinite in variety. The fertility of man's invention in devising new schemes of fraud is so great that the courts have always declined to define it or to define undue influence, which is one of its many varieties, reserving to themselves the liberty to deal with it under whatever form it may present itself.
No, fraud has many hues and forms.
Hues and forms. So and then, of course, my lord, all that.
Every case that comes up has a different hue.
And that's why, my lord, the author says, fraud is infinite in variety, and the fertility of man's invention in devising new schemes of fraud is so great, the courts have always declined to define it or to define undue influence, which is one of its many varieties, reserving to themselves the liberty to deal with it under whatever form it may present itself. Therefore, my lord, fraud, my lord, is never committed in daylight. It is always...
It's like conspiracy.
Always done under cover. And it is therefore, my lord, the responsibility of the courts to say, how do I read between the lines of an action to find out if there is fraud? It is a very difficult exercise. And there's one authority, my lord, that I want to show. With that, my lord, I shall not detain your lordships, my lord, only to say that higher the authority, my lord, 2004.
Higher the responsibility.
2000, no, and limited is the role of a court.
That is true. Yes, correct. That
Well, yes.
Learned SG has shown.
2004, I don't know whether this was shown to your lordships, Vikas Chatterjee's case.
I think so.
2004, 7 SEC
Sir, put it on the-
634. My lord,
I'll see if it is repeated. we will
repeat
ignore.
it better.
No
Repeat,
problem. No,
repeat and stop.
you can read, sir.
My lord, kindly turn to paragraph number
This
10.
was shown. Yes.
It was shown to your
Yes.
lordships by para 10.
President of India's, I think. This.
Yes. Para 10. In the case of Maruram versus Union of India,
Pardon rejection. Yes.
and I will not.
Yes. Yes.
If it's been shown, my lord. Great.
Okay. You're empty-handed. ನೀವು ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಕೊಡಿ.
ನಾವು ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ರಿಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಿ.
ಟೈಮ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಅದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಕೇಳಬೇಡಿ. Finish your submission, sir.
Kindly have it on Monday, Manoj.
Why?
After that,
Monday, next Monday.
yes, Manoj.
Why?
When Friday is a holiday, Manoj, I need to go in detail. Manoj, I'll make a synopsis and place it before your lordship.
Hello, what are you? The Advocate General state is.
No, Manoj, because submissions were made with regard to aid and advice and the opinion of the Advocate General and few aspects. As respondent,
Submissions were made about the fairness of the Advocate General.
no, that is one aspect, Manoj. It's a backhanded compliment. Therefore, I need to place certain aspects, Manoj, on
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ
163.
ಒಂದು ವಾರ ಬೇಕಾ?